Nick Walker, and I got Mr. B.J. Scott here. He's our operations manager here at Boyd Brothers. And this is Season 2, Episode 8, and we just want to talk a little bit about dispatch. But before we get started, let's, as usual, we want to, make a couple safety comments because, here at Boyd Brothers, it's safety first and safety always. And last episode, I had Mr. Nathan on. He kind of talked to you guys about your following distance. We need to continue to watch that. We just put out new safety videos. So if you guys would, take your first 5 minutes of your 10-hour break and watch that video because it's helpful stuff and it's helping prevent you from, getting into those unsafe situations. So if you would, that's all I have for safety. You have anything you want to add to that, BJ?
Yeah, just make sure you're watching your safety videos. Big key. DVRs, pre-trips, post-trips. I mean, especially now at the time of the year, you don't want to get a bad write-up or anything. That extra $300 bonus cash, that's free money right before the holidays. All I got to say.
I'm telling you now. So just make sure we're doing that. And then and that's just a quick safety update. Because I kind of really want to dig into dispatch today. I got my man here for it. And I'm just going to ask him a few questions, kind of talk about, some of the stuff that goes on in dispatch because we want people to know, how hard your fleet managers work for you here. And I don't want anybody under the impression that, our guys just kind of sit around and send you loads and it's not that simple, and I used to say it all the time, it's a difference between a dispatcher and a fleet manager. That's why Boyd label them as fleet managers here because we actually manage the fleet. And if you had to think about it, a dispatch, that's what they do. They dispatch out, whatever, and then you kind of don't worry about anything else, but that doesn't happen here. And kind of just want to give a rundown of what we do. So to start it off, first thing I want to, BJ, if you could just run us down to from the time a guy get here at guy or gal get here at 7 o'clock, let's say Monday morning. What tell me the process for a fleet manager.
So the first thing we're doing is we're doing a check call. So a check call is just seeing where guys are at. So things happen over the weekend, y'all know that happens and stuff happens. And then we check in the hair on fire report. So we get a hair on fire report from driver support. This is a report that just goes in detail what happened. Then just seeing if the guy broke down or if a guy couldn't leave because he's sick, whatever happened, we're solving those problems. So we're emailing sales, getting them aboard, getting them on the boat, making sure we can take care of you guys. The check call is just seeing where guys are at. That's all it is just seeing where guys are at, where they're positioned, and then also kind of getting us prepared for what loads they need next. So it's kind of getting in our mindset of all right, this guy, how many hours he's got left? What we got to get him for his next load. Then we go to our morning meeting, which is about 7:30. That's just a overview. That's just the whole company where we're going over through everything for the day, where we need freight, what options we need, what do we need to do, any way we can help each other out. And then after that, what I do is run another check call because I want to see every hour I'm running a check call so I know where my guys are at. Because at the end of the day, if you don't know where your guys are at, you're not an effective dispatcher. And that's what you need to do. So you need to know where your guys are at. Just continually emailing sales, talking to sales, working with your guys, coaching your guys. So usually around 9:30, 10 when I get everything caught up, is what I do is I coach my guys. So I'll be calling them about safety videos. I'll call them about compliance, DVRs, pre-trips, post-trips, safety videos, things in that manner. Then around about 11, I'm going to lunch. Coming back around 12, 12:30, whatever.
Yeah. I think that's crazy. Just in that little bit right there, he just went over so much stuff that I'm sure some people don't realize because the next question that I was going to ask, once they get them check called, everybody's situated, and sales apply a load to that driver. What does the dispatcher do? Then,
first thing to do for each guy, most fleet managers running 45, 50 guys. So most of the time we're checking to make sure the load works for our guy first. So we got to check his hours. We got to check how far the load away is. We got to check up the pickup appointment. Then we got to set the delivery appointment to make sure that the customer can take it at the day we want to deliver it. Then if you're a lease purchase fleet manager, you're calling your guy to see if he wants that load because sometimes sales will put a load on the guy so that way you can say, hey, can you offer this load for him? That way doing all that in a short amount of time. For each guy, for 50 guys, sometimes it adds up.
And think about this, guys. And sometimes in the midst of all that, what's going on? I got somebody that's calling into that fleet manager.
Yep.
And I just want guys to have a clear understanding that, if you're calling into your fleet manager, you're probably calling into a person that's on the phone. I mean, they spend 95% of their time talking to the customers, talking to the delivery, talking with sales. And then, now you've called in and you didn't get them on the phone. So you think, oh, my dispatcher's not answering the phone. That's not the case. They're probably working on the load that you have assigned to you. Because I know, it's just, all if you get a little if you get time, a lot of our drivers does this already. But if you ever get a little time, come sit down with your fleet manager, and see, what they go through each day and how many phone calls and how much they're on the phone. But only thing I can do is encourage guys, whenever you calling your fleet manager and you can't get them on the phone, give them an opportunity to call you back. Yep. That's all I ask. If you just leave a short message, or if you're somewhere not driving, if you're sitting at a customer or at your cons or anything to where you're not driving, simply shoot a message over to them. In the midst of taking those phone calls, they see what messages come in too. So, we train them to multitask, to kind of read that message and can possibly reply back, because sometimes you're on hold and it's just I'm not talking to anybody, but I'm just waiting for an answer for something. Yeah. It's truly amazing if you sat on the floor to see how much multitasking go on to ensure that guys are able to, that we're putting together the right plan for some of these guys to take care of their families. I just think sometimes guys are under the impression that, because of our dispatch model, we're split between lease purchase and company. And sometimes guys, they think that, y'all giving this person this and, this person this. And that we truly don't have, it's not enough time in the day to figure that out. We give, some company guys, if you're on the 2-week fleet, we give you access to the load board as well with the lease purchase fleet managers. And we give everybody opportunity. We try to be fair.
Yep.
But sometimes, just depending on how far you are, and that's deadhead from one load to the other, how critical is that load? We may have to make adjustments and have a guy pick a load up for us to just take care of a customer. But, we don't really have a lot of time, because a lot of guys, they get, the misconception of what we actually do in the inside, but we don't really get a bunch of time to try to screw a guy over because, think about it, guys. How do we get paid? Picking freight up, delivering it. Why would we not want you to pick something up? It's funny to me sometimes when I hear stuff like that. It's like, I don't think guys understand that we don't get paid if they don't get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I can promise you, everybody work together and we work hard to try to ensure that, you're taken care of. We want you to pull the same loads, but as you know, in the flatbed industry, what do we haul? Mostly job site materials. At some point, what happens? Those job sites finish, so that means we have to change our lanes up a little bit, especially if we get used to a certain amount. Sometimes it takes changing up just a little bit, but just wanted to kind of run down some of that stuff with you guys and just kind of let you know what a dispatch day to day is. But just while you in operate, just say operations, and there are other departments in trucking. Mm-hmm. How do you guys work with the other departments and how do you guys work with the other department and stay focused on one goal? What do you guys do together to ensure that we're moving Boyd Brothers forward?
Yeah. So, the main focus is, we're always working closely together with safety. Safety is a huge part of our industry. For unsafe drivers, you get pulled in the scales more often. You get unsafe points. You get a lot of advantages for safe driving. So that's why we put a major focus on that. So we're always trying to ensure guys are getting into the terminal in time in a timely fashion to make sure if they need training, we can get them in for training. And also our safety team works really hard to make sure if we can get guys over the phone to complete a safety review, we can do it over that. It's just focusing on that safety department. Our dispatchers really do a good job of just calling the guys and just making sure we're coaching compliance, DVRs, pre-trips, post-trips, just the small things that add up. That's the big key. Then we work closely together with our maintenance department and the driver support team, because when you guys are broke down, I mean, you want to know about your truck. At the end of the day, if you ain't rolling, we ain't making money, and you ain't making money, so it's a lose-lose for everybody. So, I mean, at the end of the day, our goal is to make sure you get out as quickly as possible. Some other things we do, we just kind of watch and make sure we work closely together with the sales teams as well, because a lot of time we're just looking at it, see how we can make y'all guys more money. And when we're looking at plans, we're seeing a swaps, drops, whatever we need to do to ensure you guys are getting the revenue you need and making sure you're taking home a check for your family. Because at the end of the day, that's what I care about, is making sure you guys are taken care of. And everyone here at Boyd Brother has the same goal, is to make sure that we're taking care of you and making sure that you're bringing home money for your family.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And then, so now, today is the 6th of December. A few weeks from now, it's Christmas. What are you guys doing during the holiday season to ensure that guys are able, to take the paycheck home? Because we know how some guys get pushed for money during the holidays because it takes a little bit more. It's, you have to, take care of the kids and other things. Holiday season is the season for giving. Yep. And that takes money. So what do you guys, do for, your fleet to ensure that guys, and especially, at a time to where, rates are decreasing, the number of loads are decreasing. So what do you guys do around the holidays to help guys out to ensure that, they're able to take a significant enough paycheck home?
Well, a lot of things I've been advising a lot of guys is, I mean, the last 2 weeks, basically the 25th, 26th, around that, all the way until January 2nd, it's going to be basically a wash, because most customers are going to be closed. I mean, we'll be delivering some freight, of course, but most of the time, just going to be, I mean, that's going to be a shutdown. So now until about, I'd say 22nd, 23rd, you need to be pushing it as hard as you possibly can. I mean, looking at staying out. I mean, if you haven't stayed out before, get with your fleet manager, talk to him, say, hey, how can I make a little extra money for the holidays? Because the biggest thing is if we can get that big money load up to PA or Wisconsin or Minnesota where you can deliver something, stay out for the weekend. The last 2 weeks are going to be kind of slow anyway, just because of the holidays, people close down. So just take advantage of your money now, and while you have the opportunity to make some money for the holiday season, Wisconsin, PA, stuff like that. The biggest thing is just making sure, get with your fleet manager, get us in the boat. We can work directly with the sales team and make sure you're taking home loads or taking home money and a paycheck. Because the last thing we want you to do is just not have the money for your family. Like I was saying this earlier. Other thing is just being safe. I mean, being a safe driver, that's a big key. Last thing you want to do is just get a dirty inspection right before the holidays.
And then, like you said, and I just want to harp on that a little bit too, because if you're out there being safe, make sure you're doing your pre-trip, post-trip, DVRs, reporting anything that need to be done, because this is the last thing you want to be shut down on the side of the road when it's time to make money. Yep. I like that. That's a good deal then, BJ. You got you heard it from BJ. I think it'll be a little different this year than normal years that the holidays fall on, but since both holidays both fall on a Sunday. So I feel confident that after that Sunday, Monday may start off a little slow, but it should come together to where we could possibly try to make a little money. But we'll be pushing. I know our operation department will be pushing to try to, load as many guys as we can, because, we understand the impact that it takes, when a guy, missing a week of work. I can't afford to miss a week of work. So, that's why we put together plans to try to help guys. Just need guys to start trying to help themselves as well.
And another thing I got to harp on is just, if you ever broke down, just come to the terminal, come work for it. I mean, we offer so many opportunities for guys to make money when they're broke down. We have loaner trucks, and if for some reason we don't have a loaner truck available for you, we can come work at the terminal for me or Nick, and then you can work. I mean, taking guys to the airport, recovering trucks, whatever we need you to do. We want to make sure you can ensure you can bring home money, especially during this time, because breakdown is going to happen. You guys know it. It happens all the time. So as soon as you break down, get with the fleet manager, get you to the terminal, and then come work for us. That way we can make sure you're taken care of.
That's awesome, and I want to end that conversation with that, just that, exactly what BJ said, guys, because we see it too many times to where guys, they listen to people over the road tell them that, hey, this should be a pretty quick fix, and then it's 3 or 4 days later you check on it, and when you personally check on it, which is our drive support's checking on it every day, but once you check on it again, it's 3 or 4 days later, and they were just able to pull the truck in. So I tell guys, when you go down over the road, once you get that truck checked in, get me or BJ, definitely get your fleet manager on the phone first. That's a chain of command. Mm-hmm. Fleet manager, for whatever reason you can't get them because they're too busy or whatever the case is, get with BJ, get with myself, and then we need to orchestrate a plan to get you here to the terminal because there are opportunities here for you to keep your paycheck flowing. If for whatever reason that truck's not going to be ready or we don't have anything for you to loan. Other than that, guys, like I said, we just wanted to get on here and kind of talk about, what we do in dispatch for guys to understand, how hard we work for Boyd Brothers to ensure that we're able to provide for our family. So just to, if you guys can follow us on our social media platforms, which is here, and if you're looking for a truck driving career versus a truck driving job, go Boyd.